Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the honor and the pleasure of announcing the speeches of Boris Johnson and Bert Koenders, both still European Ministers of Foreign Affairs. They have just returned from the memorial service in Oosterbeek, where they honored the memories of the many British militaries who fought and died for us in September 1944. And we are very happy to be able to welcome them here now. And we very much appreciate their presence at this conference and consider it as a token of endorsement for the subject we are dealing with today. And personally, I'm very glad that now I can say to a British Minister of Cabinet, yes, Minister, please take the floor.
I'm going to be very brief. Thank you very much. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all. How do I say? Goedemiddag. Goedemiddag, everybody. I'm the Buitenlandse Zaken Minister from, well, how do I say, from England. There you go. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here, and how wonderful to be in a city. I'm going to speak very briefly, by the way, because I'm just the warm-up act for my friend Bert, who's very kindly invited me here today. It's wonderful to be here in Arnhem, a city where politicians actually gain popularity by putting in cycle lanes. I found when I did it in London, I became public enemy number one for the taxi drivers. So we venerate your achievement here in Holland, and I greatly admire what you have done. I want to say thank you also to Bert for his very tactful present he's just given me, which is a book about Dutch football, and which is, I'm afraid, that the Dutch football team is, I know you've been through some vicissitudes recently, but you're still considerably more successful internationally than the English football team in modern times. And I'm sure there are some things that we can pick up. More importantly, it has been overwhelmingly moving to come to a Dutch town and to go through Oosterbeek, as I did just now, earlier on this afternoon, and to see the flags of a British regiment flying from Dutch homes, and quite extraordinary to see the red telephone box, the British flag flying in Arnhem. I don't think they know about this back home in Britain. And wonderful to talk to the Burgemeester of Oosterbeek, thank you, about his issues, the problems he has to face, which don't seem to me to be very considerable. And to understand that this is a community where the contribution and the sacrifice of British soldiers is still remembered and still appreciated so profoundly. And I have to tell you, that's been a deeply moving experience for me. And I just have one message for you this afternoon. And our host has said, you know, we're still, Bert and I are still European ministers. Well, Bert's always going to be a European minister, but I am always, under any circumstances, going to be, or at least I'm going to be a European. I may not be a minister forever. And Britain, I want this to be very firmly understood. Britain came to the help and the protection of Holland in 1944. And we understand the vital importance of our commitment to Europe. We will always be a European country unless you try to tow the British Isles into the Atlantic and sink us with 6-inch guns. We are going to be a European country. We may be adjusting our relations with the European Union, but we are committed to Europe. And it's very, very important, I think, for people on the continent to understand that. And I tried to explain this. It's rather appropriate that we're in this beautiful ecclesiastical building, because I tried to explain this to some of my European colleagues. I think you were there but the other day, and I said that whatever happened, other European countries may want to seize this moment to go forward and create a new European architecture for defense and foreign policy. And I said that we in no way in the United Kingdom oppose that. We couldn't stand in your way if you want to create a new structure, a new cathedral of European architecture. And I said that whatever happened, we would be supportive. We would be there, I said, like a flying buttress. Do you know what I mean by a flying buttress? It's outside the building, but the base is detached from the building, but it gives support. It's a feature of medieval architecture, a flying buttress. Unfortunately, in the meeting of European foreign ministers at which I said this was misheard by the interpreters, and they said I said that I wanted the United Kingdom to be a flying bucket, and there was a good deal of panic in the British delegation when they were asked to explain how the United Kingdom intended the future architecture of Europe to be supported by a flying bucket. But I'm here today in Arnhem to tell you that we in the UK are, whatever our relations with the European Union, we are determined to remain profoundly and passionately supportive of Europe broadly conceived and of our friends in Arnhem in particular. Thank you very much indeed.